In this video, we're going to find out if you can beat all the main Elden Ring DLC bosses using only Wave of Gold. And let me tell you something, the results are going to shock you, as this thing can absolutely two-shot bosses if you know what you're doing. So stick around until the end of the video, as I'll cover the build, the equipment, and all of the buff routines. Anyways, let's jump straight into the action with a little taste of what this build can do. As you can see, absolutely no chance for Jungle Man right here. The beauty about this thing is that you can snipe bosses from far away without even getting close. And since there's a Black Knight close by, let's go and take care of him as well. Alright, let's step it up a notch by taking care of the Blackgaol Knight. I'm not gonna lie, this is where I actually started to doubt this build, because every time I hit him with the Wave of Gold, he simply just rolled over it and just killed me. The only reason I stuck with this build is because if I actually connected, it would break his stance and he would just drop to the floor, which means while he's on the floor, I can hit him with the second one and probably take care of him that way. Luckily, on my third try, it absolutely worked. So from here, I went to the Bellerad jail to take care of the Demi Human. And then after that, we went to the tower to take care of our first major DLC boss, the Dancing Lion. The fight itself was not that bad. First of all, on my first fight, he absolutely gobbled me up. On the second and third tries, he absolutely destroyed me as well. My fourth try was an absolute clincher, as I got him so low, he was just one shot away from death, and I went for the final Wave of Gold. Unfortunately, he jumped on top of it, and I ran out of FP, and while I was fumbling to replenish, he absolutely got me. Luckily though, on my fifth try, I managed to get him. Okay, so from here we headed to Castle Ensis so we can take care of the second DLC main boss, Rellana. But before we do that, let's flex on some NPCs. So for Rellana, I was actually surprised. I almost got her the first time, somehow I choked, and on the second time I just absolutely messed it up, but luckily on the third time I got her. So from here I took a detour and decided to take care of the 3 Ghostflame Dragons as well as the Dragon Man. So this is where things start to spice up, as I decided to go to the Shadow Keep next to take care of the Golden Hippo, Commander Gaius, and Messmer. As you can see, the golden hippo was no issue at all. Now moving on to Commander Gaius. I mean, this dude is so broken, it's ridiculous. No matter what I tried, there was just absolutely no way to get him. First of all, because I'm using the blood-sucking cracked tier in my physic, every time I took it and I entered the arena, by the time he rides his boar and comes to me, my health would be already drained and I simply just died. So I decided to ditch that from my physic and use something else, either to boost my holy damage or just to simply damage negate. Second of all, no matter what I tried to do, I just simply could not dodge his attacks. This guy is literally broken and needs to be rebalanced. After many tries, I simply caved in. I summoned my mimic just to buy myself enough time to distract him so I can hit him with the wave of gold. And even that was not easy. After a few tries, I actually managed to do it. Not too happy about it, but hey, I still got him with the wave of gold. This boss fight was absolutely disgusting to say the least. Let's move on to Messmer and see if things improve. The Messmer fight was not that bad. I actually got him on my 5th try, and all I had to do was just summon my mimic to buy myself enough time to distract him so I can hit him with the slow animation of the wave of gold. Otherwise, this fight was just simply impossible from my skill level, as I'm not the best player out there. Not gonna lie, those last few boss fights were very intense, so let's slow the pace down and go and pay the Putrescent Knight a quick visit. Easy peasy. And now let's go and suffer at the hands of the Scadutree Avatar. For some reason, this stupid flower is just OP. So the only way I could get it is again using my summon so I can distract it enough so I can hit it with the wave of gold. Eventually we got it. So from here we move to Romina for some pain and poison. Actually, it wasn't bad at all. All I had to do was just avoid her grab and poke attack, make sure I never got rotted, kept my distance, and everything turned out to be okay. And now, my friend, it is time for the worst Dark Souls boss ever made. Radahn. I mean, where do I even start? First of all, I really believe I got lucky with this run, and that's because as soon as I entered the arena, he didn't jump attack me as if he saw me on his ring doorbell, creeping up on his property to steal his Amazon deliveries. So that gave me enough time to spawn my mimic so I could distract him so I can hit him a few times. Even with the freaking mimic, this thing was impossible. I mean, he absolutely ignores it as if it doesn't exist and keeps on aggroing me. Other than that, this thing is just absolutely impossible. No matter what, I got lucky and I got it done. So enjoy the fight. Oh man, it feels like a heavy weight has been lifted off my shoulders. I'm so happy I'm done with Radahn. For you that's been watching and enduring through my pain and suffering, it's time for your reward. So let's talk about the build, the buffs, and a few other things. So for character stats, as you can see, I'm at Faith 99. You're also going to want to put some points into Mind and Endurance. As far as the weapons go, you got the Sacred Relic Sword at plus 10. Whatever sword with Seppuku. Whatever seal you want, so you can cast Golden Vow. So for the helmets, you're going to be rotating between 3 helmets depending on what level of buff you want to use, which I'm going to show you next. So you got the Black Dumpling, the Mushroom Crown, and the White Mask. You also got Raksha's Armor. For the talismans, you're going to need the Kindred of Rot, Lord of Blood, Shard of Alexander, and the Aged One's Exaltation. So you also need the Red Feathered Branch Sword and the Sacred Scorpion Charm. For the consumables, you got the Frenzy Flamestone, the Raw Meat Dumpling, and the Sacred Bloody Flesh. Now let's move on to talk about your physique. The one that's going to stay permanent is going to be your Holy Shrouding Cracked Tear. You're going to keep that standard. That's not going to change. And then as I mentioned in the video, depending on the boss fight, if you feel like you're dying before the boss reaches you, there's a lot of distance between you and the boss, such as Gaius. then you want to switch the blood-sucking crack tier to something else, maybe to boost your faith or just any other damage negation. And now let's go over 3 different buff routines. So for the simple buff, you just drink your physic and you use Golden Vow, and that's it. So you're doing the same thing for the medium routine. The only difference is that you're going to switch to the white mask, drink your physic, do Golden Vow, seppuku yourself, and then switch back to your main weapon. And so for the long routine, it basically boils down to this. You want to do Madness, drink your physic, Golden Vow, and then you want to do Poison, then you want to seppuku yourself, and then you want to quickly switch your talismans and jump straight into the fight. Only OGs will be watching until this point, and if you're a triple OG, then YouTube thinks you should watch this next.